we've all heard of the Second Amendment. It states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms will not be infringed. And that's kind of the basis for our discussion tonight. There also exists a Gun-Free School Zones Act, but through that act, a school is defined as a primary or secondary school, so that doesn't really apply to college campuses. Thought I'd let you know that that does exist.
Chapter 2, Section 23, that deals with on or in school property. School isn't defined in this section of the code, but it's defined in a bunch of other places. And there's an open question that the Indiana courts have never decided as to whether that applies to just K through 12 or whether that goes to universities. The courts have never decided it, but if you call the Indiana State Police, they interpret that to be only applying to K through 12 schools. So according to the state police, there's no prohibition legally of having a firearm on campus. It's a campus policy.
Is it a good idea for people to be able to be allowed to carry concealed weapons into classrooms here at Purdue? There's the argument on the one side that says, if there were a shooter who came in, as in the case of Virginia Tech, and opened fire, everyone in those classrooms that person was in was unarmed, and the argument is being made that if there was someone who had a concealed weapon and that was the university policy at Virginia Tech, that person could have used that firearm to stop the violence.
Shooting someone is not the easiest thing to do. I put rounds on the enemy in Iraq. It's not the easiest thing to do for me to just pull my gun out and shoot at the door and just to make that snap decision.
Yes.
To address the gentleman in the back, first off, thank you for your service. I appreciate that, I really do. I guess to address the argument that someone won't be able to, take some type of action that's going to stop a shooter, that may be the case. There is no guarantee that someone is always going to be able to stop somebody else. But we know what happens when there's no one there, because it's happened over and over and over again. And when no one's there, people get shot execution style. I think there was one classroom in Norris Hall at Virginia Tech where 3 students survived. And they survived not because the shooter was a bad shot or because the shooter missed, but because they jumped out of a 3rd-story window. And they had multiple broken bones at the bottom. Those were the only people that made it.